Hi there, Mr. Biggers here, and today I'm going to show you how to write and interpret equations, okay? So we're going to jump right in by writing in a sentence for the following equations. So example 1 is read 2 times z minus 1 equals 5. So we're going to write that out. So I have 2 times z, and then minus 1 is equal to 5. You literally write it out exactly how it sounds. Okay, so don't make it harder than it needs to be. Instead of is equal to, you could also say equals. Okay, or you could say is. Any of those words that tell you that something is equal to, you could say equivalent. Any of those things tells me that you have an equal sign in your equation that you're writing. Okay, so example 2. We are going to find the correct answer here. So first things first, I'm just going to read it exactly how it sounds. And then I'm going to translate it and see which one closely matches with my transition. So I have 6z, which we will write as 6 times z. And then I have minus 15. And then we have equals 45. Okay, so we're going to see which one matches with that. So if I read A, let's check A. 6 times the number z minus 15 equals 45. So 6 times the number z minus 15 equals 45. Does that one align? So let's see. We've got 6 times the number z, 6 times the number z, okay, minus 15 equals 45 equals 45. Okay, so that one works. Okay, let's check B. 6 times the quantity. So quantity tells me parentheses. So this is saying I'm multiplying 6 to the quantity of a number z minus 15. And then it equals 45. So this is not what we were given, okay? So there's only one correct answer here, but I wanted to talk about why that's not the answer. So the correct answer would be A. What I would do on these is write it out yourself if it's multiple choice and then see which answer best matches yours, okay? So example 3, we have, and I'm going to read it like this. I have the quantity of y plus 3 raised to the second power. You could also read that the quantity of y plus 3 squared, or the sum of y plus 3 squared is equal to 25, okay? So we need to think, what math word could we use for the answer to an addition problem? And I did just tell you, but I'm going to say it again. So I'm going to say the answer to an addition problem is a sum, okay? And remember, the word quantity tells you to use parentheses, okay? So there's 2 different options we could write for this, okay? So I'm going to, and neither are right or neither are wrong, but I'm going to show you both of the ways, okay? So how could we write this using the word a sum? I'm going to say the sum of y and 3 squared equals 25. Okay, so the sum of y and 3, squared equals 25, okay? And so I could also write the quantity of y plus 3 squared equals 25. Okay, those are both totally correct answers that you could have for example 3. Okay, so make sure you know answer to an addition problem. Make sure you know how to define parentheses. The word quantity tells you parentheses. Okay, this one here, write it how it sounds. We've got j plus 16 equals 35. Literally that simple. Okay, so example 5, we need to write a sentence for the following example. The first thing is I want you to identify the unknowns. Okay, so I'm going to read this first. So the formula for the volume of a cylinder is V equals pi r squared h, where V is the volume, r is the length of the radius, and h is the height. So over here, I'm going to document this information. So it says V is the volume. So V is volume. Write that down off to the side. It says R is the length. So R is the length of the radius. Okay. And then H is the height. So if you think back to your pre-algebra brain, you actually learned this formula already to find the volume of a cylinder. Okay, pi is just a repeating number. It's an irrational number that goes on forever. And it goes 3.1415926, blah, 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 on forever. So pi is not a variable, but it represents a number. Okay, so that's all you need to know there. Usually in this class, we'll say pi is equal to 3.14 because we will round it. Okay, so we need to write a sentence for the following example. Okay, so I have, let's see here. I have the volume, sorry, distracted by the hall. Volume is equal to, R is the radius, so we're going to say the radius, and then we have squared, and then times the height, okay, so that would be your answer for that one, but I did forget something. So let's go through and see what I forgot, okay? So volume is equal to, and then I'm jumping right into the radius, which is here. So I forgot this magic number right here, pi. So I need to say is equal to pi times the radius squared times the height. Okay, so that is how you could translate that into a sentence. So that's what you're doing here. Translate these into sentences. And then down here, you are going to be constructing a formula based off of that, okay? But same thing here, translate those into sentences, and those are your practice exercises, okay? So if you need those, you can pause the video and copy this down.